Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl Talley, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to share with you an update on my coronavirus emergency inspired garden and a few updates on things I'm growing for myself. Here is my butter crunch lettuce that I started from seeds in the house in January in my grow room. And then after my grand angel Brian and I planted them in this grow box outside, I succession planted some seeds directly into this container to ensure me that I would have lettuce most of the summer. And then I just put for color some zinnias right here. Now, the reason why I showed you particularly this butter crunchy lettuce is because the coronavirus inspired me to do emergency garden for my children, grandchildren, friends, and senior citizens. So now let's go into the greenhouse and let me show you the butter crunch lettuce I started. I showed you the butter crunch lettuce outside. This is from the same seed package. I'm gonna gently prick some out, put them in another complete separate container, and I'm gonna take you guys along and show you exactly how I do it. I intentionally used the rest of that package because I knew that I was going to see what came up, and then I was going to divide them and put them in other containers. I want to do like some inexpensive hanging baskets that my children can take home. I had planned just to grow a few cucumbers and a couple of peppers and a lot of marigolds to kill the virus that is caused by bad nematodes, which in result attack the roots of your plants and give you knotted root. After the coronavirus epidemic started spreading all over, I went out and I bought some, what I don't hardly ever do, some starts. And I planted 4 tomatoes right here, and I bought some pepper starts and I planted them as well in here and over there, so I can be able to give a lot of food away. And guys, I'm staying in my house. I'm going to pack up the little bags or baskets, whatever I have to put them in. I'll call the people and tell them pick it up on my front porch. Okay, now let me go over here and show you this bed, and you'll see a difference in the size of the tomatoes because these I grew from seeds starting in January in my grow room. So these were what I was growing for myself in this bed. But I have a lot of tomatoes canned, and I will give some of these away to anybody that needs it. But I must admit, my family, my children, my grandchildren, and my senior citizen friends are coming first. And then whatever I have left, I will share. Because I've been telling people for the longest, stop criticizing me for all the stuff that I grow. This is survival for me. And I just was able to harvest this strawberry. And all of the onions that you see in this box, they are growing from little small onions that sprouted in my pantry and onions that I grew. And now they're going to seed. Now, if you want to slow down the progression of them going to seed, you could just bend and prune off the tips. But eventually, they'll just keep popping back up, and then you can save your seeds and grow more. Now, let's move over to this grow box. It's full of strawberries, and I just want you to see how big those onions are growing. Okay? Grow your own food, guys. Before going back to the greenhouse, I thought I would stop by and pick a couple strawberries, but they're not ripe. But they will be very soon. Hey, 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 hey. strawberries will be ripe very soon. I get a few every day. I'm like a kid in the candy store. I come out and get my natural candy. Okay. Aunt Lois cold hardy hibiscus plant. I left it out at 43-degree temperatures the other night. It's doing well because it's cold hardy. Hey, hey, hey. A tribute to my mother's last surviving sibling, Aunt Lois. I am so thankful to be able to grow this plant in honor of her. Here are my Komatsuma tender greens. These are mustards. And you can see where the rain pushed some of the seeds forward. But that's okay, because I'm going to very gently prick these out, and I'm going to plant some more in another container. Here are my Japanese giant red mustards. Let me go closer so that you can see they're getting that little beautiful tinge of red right there. And again, some of the seeds were pushed back in the soil and moved because of the rain, so that's why I brought them in the greenhouse. The greenhouse has been closed up for 2 days because we've had a lot of rain and temperatures dropped down to 43. But I didn't have to turn any heat on, so it's a good thing. Now, I'm going to prick some of these out and put them in another container. Now, I know some of you are saying, but Miss Cheryl, you said you don't have any soil. I don't. But I'm ordering some online and having it express delivered. Cost me a little bit more, but now is not the time to be worrying about prices, because I'm going to be able to save a whole lot of money for people by giving them some free vegetables. And here is my kale. Now, the kale, it's called 1,000-head kale. I planted this last fall and winter, and it grew very well. And this is too much in this container, so I'm going to prick some out here and put it in here and move some of this around, and then I'll put half of this, like I'm going to do the rest of the greens, in another container that I'm ordering. Here are the tomatoes that I grew for myself, and I have a little diatomaceous earth on them because it was something trying to eat them. Not a hornworm, but it was some type of bug. So I'm going to walk down. I'm going to pan down from the front and show you how tall they are. They are, some of them about 4 feet high, some of them about 3 feet high. They are flowering, and I'm going to let those blooms stay. And I'm not going to prune any suckers unless I see it's weighing the plant down. And in that case, I will trim off a little bit, because I'm trying to grow as much food as I can for others. But this was originally started by seeds just for me, but I'm going to be sharing. Now I'm going to show you something. Look at the last 2 plants on the end. They get the most wind, they get the most fresh air, and the most sun. So they are bigger than the others. So you can plant the same type of plant, the same seed, but they're going to grow differently because of the elements. And right here, guys, is pepper place. I originally grew this for an experiment. Something was eating them up. I think I got a hold on them with the diatomaceous earth. Something I was going to do for experiment. Sometimes we'll have plans. God tells us we got to do something else. So I'm scrapping my plans, and this is going to be emergency food. Yes, I do plan to grow it all year in the greenhouse, but it's emergency food. The peas in here are coming up real slowly. That's okay. There's no rush on these. We'll have plenty of lettuce and tomatoes before the peas make. And then I have, let's see, I've got something else I want to show you. Oh, I know. The peas I planted over here, and they're coming up pretty good. 2 containers, one here and one here. Okay. Here is peppers that I grew from a seed all winter long in the greenhouse. I probably will harvest all of these tomorrow and leave the green ones on. Okay. Now let's go outside so I can show you the container garden that I have started for emergencies. Oh, by the way, I want to show you my beans, my green beans. They're doing well. They're growing up because that's what beans do. They're pole beans. I put a little wire around here, around the border, so I can train them to go down. That's what I did last year, and it worked very well. Over here is the tiny Tims with a little diatomaceous earth on it. They're blooming all over. Over in this big black toad is my cassava. I failed at growing it last year because I moved it out the greenhouse too soon and we got a freeze. But this year I'm going to leave it in the greenhouse until it's warm enough, and it's starting to leaf out where you know, the roots are. With the exception of the flowers, all of the food you see here is for the coronavirus inspired emergency garden. So there are a lot of cucumbers. I have some more gallon buckets. I'm gonna separate these and make 2 more containers because I have 2 more trellises like this. You see the okra is standing up, doing well. More okra down here and more okra right here. Now I'm going to walk over to the food forest side of the garden and show you some more tomatoes because there was a 6-pack. Here are the other 2 tomato plants, and I have 1 marigold in the middle of them, and I'm going to put some leaf mulch on them so that they can retain moisture. Pretty soon it's going to start getting real hot. And then I got to go to the back of the greenhouse and find 2 cages to support them. So yeah. Remember, everything in the greenhouse, as far as in those trays, it's going to be multiplied times 2 because I'm going to prick them out and put them in other containers. So it may not seem like it's a lot of food, but actually it is, guys. While I'm here, let me share with you the beets. I'll give some of those away as well. These were all started, except for the tiny ones. They were sown from seeds, but these were started in January. Onions that Brian and I planted. More beets in with the spinach. And I'm going to look through my seeds and see if I have another package of spinach, because that's a nice crop. It takes a while to grow, but once it gets going, you can cut and harvest, starting from taking the leaves off the bottom. Originally, I had ordered those trays that you saw in the greenhouse to put flowers in and just put them by the fruit trees and make it look real pretty and have pollinators. But these desperate times calls for desperate measures. So I'm doing my part to help people. What are you doing? Let me know in the comments what you're doing to help your fellow mankind. Okie dokie. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule to watch this video. You guys know I love each and every one of you very much. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so at this time. And share my video with your friends. The end. Thank you for watching. Bye now.